Just imagine you get trapped in a canyon with a beautiful girl who always tries to seduce you, and whenever you try to get out of the canyon, some boys stop you. But why? Let's see in the movie recap of Seedings. The film begins with Wyndham, a photographer taking pictures of the solar eclipse in the middle of a vast desert. As day fades, he decides to head back to his car, but unexpectedly comes across a young boy who appears lost and scared. Wyndham tries to offer help, but the boy resists and walks off. The boy walks away and Wyndham follows him. Eventually, the boy disappears, leaving Wyndham stranded in the middle of the desert with no way back to his car. So he tries to settle down for the night, but some strange sounds disturb him. He follows the noises and sees a large canyon and a wooden house at the bottom with a woman singing around outside. He calls for help, but she ignores him and goes inside. Desperate, he finds an iron ladder which leading down into the canyon. He climbs down the canyon and asks for the shelter. A woman named Alina opens the door and greets him as though she was expecting him. Without hesitation, she invites him inside and offers him some soup. Wyndham decides to stay the night at the house, and suddenly Alina casually changes her clothes in front of him, but he ignores her. The next morning, Wyndham steps outside, determined to find his way out. But the rope ladder was mysteriously missing, and without the rope ladder, it was impossible to reach the iron section above. He asks Alina about the missing ladder, and she casually replies that the other who lived nearby must have taken it with them. He finds a hammer and tries to climb the cannon wall. Just as he gains some height, a chicken is thrown at him. He loses his balance and falls, becomes unconscious. When he wakes up, he finds himself injured by the hammer. His leg was in pain. Alina rushes to his side. She removes the hammer and treats the wound, which keeps Wyndham trapped there for another 2 days. After 2 days, he tries to escape again, but can't find the ladder. He shouts for help and some boys came to assist him, giving him a rope. As Wyndham is being pulled up, the boys suddenly stop midway, leaving him dangling over the cannon. They begin mocking him, swinging the rope. Wyndham crashes into the cannon wall, injured and barely conscious. Alina rushes out and angrily shouts at the boys in their native language. The boys stop mocking him and slowly back away. She helps Wyndham down from the rope, bringing him back to the house. Alina explains that leaving the cannon is impossible and he must accept his fate. Despite his protest, she insists the desert is now his home, just like hers and the others. Wyndham accepts his fate and they start living like a family. The boys supply everything they need to survive: food, water, drinks. One night, after drinking too much alcohol, Wyndham becomes intoxicated and ends up spending the night with Alina. The next day, Wyndham starts digging in the canyon to grow some seeds, hoping to cultivate food. Suddenly, a boy appears, asks him what he's doing. Seizing the opportunity, Wyndham tells him that he can teach him how to grow food and other things if he helps him. He replies that he will help, but only when the other boys aren't around. Wyndham sees a ray of hope, but the very next day, he hears Alina crying loudly. When he came out, he sees that the boy was hanging and dead. Alina blames Wyndham for the boy's death. She then starts to beat Wyndham with a stick and lock him in a cage. She locks him away for months. He pleads to be let out, promising that he will take care of her. She tells Wyndham that he is just a way for her to survive. She explains that she no longer needs him. His only purpose was to help her have a baby, and now that she is pregnant, she has no need for him. She leaves him in the cage, and later she and the boys perform their native practices and rituals. Months later, one day Alina suddenly experiences intense pain in her stomach. She calls out to Wyndham, asking him to assist her. She frees him from the cage. Wyndham becomes very weak due to being locked in the cage for so long. Wyndham shockingly sees the same ladder that could help him return to his old life, but he chooses to help Alina, and she gives birth to a baby girl during the solar eclipse. She asks Wyndham to give their daughter, saying she will take care of her and that the baby will continue the rituals. Suddenly, boys arrives and kill Wyndham from behind, and that's how the movie ends. Thank you for watching.